Hey guys, my name is Colton Steiner, and welcome to the last episode for the 2017/18 season for the Cleveland Browns. Today we were just talking about everything going wrong and my thoughts on the 0-16 parade, so let's just jump right into it. Well, this has probably been the worst team in the history of football, and yes, I know the Detroit Lions finished 0-16 in 2008, I believe, and that's why they can't win one. Shut your freaking mouth. So we want to make a change. That was the focus of the parade. The Browns fans are the most die-hard fans in the league. So the Cleveland Browns managed to finish the season 0-16 and failed to win a game, even though they were competitive in the final game against the Steelers' second string. But hey, every team has a bad season, right? Not this long for 17, 18 years, but I'm moving on. Well, this has probably been the worst team in the history of football, and yes, I know the Detroit Lions finished 0-16 in 2008, I believe, but the way this team was run, from the failed trade of A.J. McCarron and the fact the first punt of the season was blocked and returned by a touchdown, we should have taken the hint there that this was going to be a long and terrible season. So I'm not really surprised we finished 0-16. You can almost feel it coming in like week 10 by the way we were playing. We couldn't even score. Heck, I think we went like a couple weeks without even a passing touchdown, which is terrible. So the coaching staff did horrible. The players did horrible too. It was just horrible all around. But let's start off with talking about the decision keeping Kaiser in the last 4 games, despite him throwing over 20 interceptions, and I think turning the ball over almost 25 times, maybe 26 times. That is way too many. If he's struggling, this isn't good for his confidence. You think, oh, keep him in there. If you pull him, it's gonna tear him down. No, keeping him in while he's continuing to struggle isn't helping him at all. I was watching the game back at home with my parents, and all of a sudden the Kaiser comes in, and I tell him I'm having a bad feeling. He's gonna throw an interception. Just as I say that, he throws an interception. It was against the Baltimore Ravens. It's the one where he just overthrew one of his receivers, and I was like, this is textbook. You can't see this stuff coming. He's not a good quarterback. Yes, I know Cody Kessler isn't a great quarterback, and I've said this numerous times that he's not a franchise quarterback, but Kaiser's not a good quarterback either, and you got to work with what you have. Heck, even throwing Kevin Hogan could do better, because when a quarterback throws 2 interceptions a game, he better answer that with touchdowns, which Kaiser didn't. He just hasn't done in his career. And I said this from the very beginning of the season, that I didn't think Kaiser was ready to start an NFL game. And I don't think it helped him just throwing him into the Lions' den right out of the gate. I didn't like that at all. So I think that was the first step of the problem, was the fact we threw him in way too early before he was even developed. And heck, his coach from college said he wasn't ready. So that's on the coaching staff. I didn't believe Kaiser was ready, and that's one of the reasons of the downfall in 2017, why we went 0-17. Next up was the bad play calling. That was, oh my gosh. Let's just talk about the Chicago game for 1 second. I managed to be in Chicago when the Browns played the Bears. I was offered to go to the game, but I declined. I didn't feel like going to a game watching the Browns lose, which I had a feeling they would, and they sure enough did. But the play calling was bad in the second half. Let's talk about that. The weather conditions were cold and snowy, which isn't ideal for a quarterback. And then you don't run the ball at all in the second half. You run it 2 times. That is inexcusable. That is almost fireable after that game. Who only throws the ball in those conditions? That you can't make this stuff up. You literally can't. But that's been a thing we've come to know in 2017 with this coaching staff. They're so bad at play calling, and that's on Hugh Jackson. He has to get an offensive coordinator since our new general manager John Dorsey and Jimmy Haslam hope to keep him around. But I almost want to fire him because his play calling is so bad. If you don't want to fire him, hire him an offensive coordinator. This stuff cannot happen. You can't have this many miscues consistently and hope to improve on them every week. Because what the bad thing about the Browns, they say, oh, we're going to be better next week. Nothing changes. They don't try and improve. The way they set up for the games and the way they runs the game is exactly the same. They don't try and change anything about their game, even though they haven't won a game, and that's why they can't win one. But overall, it was just one of the worst seasons in any sports season across all the leagues. It was embarrassing. As a Browns fan, you watch them every week, and people are like, "Oh, why are you watching the Browns? They're gonna lose." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Don't tell me. I just hope they just win one game. One game. Is that all that hard?" And apparently, it is to win only one game. And thank you, Corey Coleman, for dropping a ball that was literally in your hands. That was only like 10-yard pass. So thanks for that. You were a great first-round pick, and I hope people sense my sarcasm there. Because we went 0-16, there was the 0-16 parade, which I fully supported. Because how hard is it to win only one game? If you win one game, it is called off. Or even tie one game, it is called off. But I thought the parade was a great idea. I was going to go, but unfortunately I didn't have a way to get there, and it was really, really cold, and the conditions weren't the best for me. So hopefully we have another parade in the future, and it's for a championship, which may take a few years, but it might be next year, might be. Staying hopeful. So the biggest problem I have is the players complaining about the 0-16 parade. You're not a true fan if you go to this parade or support this parade. Shut your freaking mouth. Listen, I don't understand why the players want to open their mouths and talk about this. You finished 0-16. All you had to do was win one game or tie a game. 99% of the teams in the NFL can do that, except you. So shut your mouth, and you've only been here 2 years. Most of these players that are complaining about it have only been here 2 years. Now, I love them. I cheer for them and hope they stay here because they're great players. But you don't know what we feel. Over the last 17/18 years, we've only had 2 winning seasons. Our last winning season was in 2007, where we went 10-6. But we haven't made the playoffs since 2002, where we went 9-7, and we lost in the AFC wildcard game. So I don't want to hear any of these players complaining about an 0-16 parade because the Browns have had nothing to show for it and have changed nothing in the last 2 years. So we want to make a change. That was the focus of the parade. It was a statement to the organization that we're sick of watching this team continue to do the same things every year and not try and get top tier players and keeping the money in the organization even though we can use it. Heck, we have over $100 million in cap space. Use that money and get a good player. And I'll talk about a player we could get later in the video. Listen, the Browns fans are the most die-hard fans in the league. We continue to watch this team and support this team and love this team every year, even though we know the season's probably gonna suck. I know a lot of people who spend their hard-earned money watching you guys play every week. Go there, pay over $100 a ticket for like club seats, or maybe $20 a ticket because you guys are 0-10. But still, you guys are taking their money and not taking their feelings for granted. Listen, we want a change. We're sick of you telling us that, next year's going to be different. But it isn't different. Do something. You guys are making me so mad right now that it's going to be technical difficulties. I don't know. But the parade was a good thing. It was fun for the fans. It made us laugh a little bit about ourselves because we finished 0-16, and it's fun. There's nothing good about the season, so why not have a parade? And it raised over $17,000 for the Cleveland Food Bank, which is phenomenal. I think that was about 60,000 meals or something, which is great. Reflog_18, Chris McNeil, great job on that. Hats off to you. You did a great job organizing it, and I think from what I heard, everything went smoothly and everyone had a good time. So what do the Browns do next, though? What do they do? Well, they're making smart hiring moves so far. With the hiring of John Dorsey, and they have also hired former Giants wide receiver coach Adam Henry, and he worked with Odell Beckham Jr., so that's good. He was a pretty good receiver. I mean, he made couple good catches. But they also hired former Packers executive Elliott Wolf as an assistant GM. So that's another good hire. I like how they're hired so far. They've done a good job hiring people, and they've done a good job overall in the front office aspect. Players aspect is a different story. You can hire people in the office, but if the players don't perform on the field, that's bad. You want the players to do good on the field. That's the main point. But there's also rumors that Kirk Cousins would strongly consider signing with the Browns. Now, I'm a little of what I think of Kirk Cousins. Great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, phenomenal quarterback. But I don't think he's worth the $20 million. I will say, fork over the money to get him. Even if it's $20 million, I don't think he's worth that much. Maybe 12 to 14. To give you an idea, that I think that's roughly about what Joe Thomas gets per year. Don't take my word for it. I just think that on the top of my head. But he'd be a great acquisition for the Browns, considering we need a quarterback. Get a wide receiver, for crying out loud. I mean, whether it's in the draft or in the trading for one or signing one for a lot of money. Josh Gordon is still here, but considering his history, you can't really rely on him. Now, I think he's going to be a great wide receiver if he stays off the weed, as Stephen A. Smith would say.
Stay off the weed!
Hopefully, he stays with us. I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver, and he can be a great wide receiver down the line. But you guys need a wide receiver, and from what it looks like, there's a chance Terrell Pryor could return to the Browns. And considering what he did with the Redskins this year, we could probably get him for a lot cheaper too. So that's a step forward. Helps us in our favor if he would come back. Save us a little more money in cap space with him only. I'm guessing $6 million maybe. I don't know if that's for sure, but that'd be ideal. Yeah, we have a lot of things to look forward to. Have the number 1 pick in the draft, the number 4 pick in the draft. Now, I'm not going to talk about who I'm going to want to draft in this video or who I think we should, but that's going to be another video down the line. I'm still curious though. There's a lot to look at, and there's a lot of things we could do with that number 1 and 4 pick. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to let me know on your thoughts on how the Cleveland Browns season went, even though we all know it's going to be a funny response or talk about how bad they were. It's kind of obvious. Or what you think they should do this offseason. There's a lot of things to talk about. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.